All right, if you're an expert who's been a guest on a podcast, you know the potential is just huge. But here's the real question. Are you actually turning that visibility into a reliable stream of high-value clients? Because a lot of people aren't. So today, we're going to explain the exact system to build that revenue bridge.
The advice you hear everywhere is pretty simple, right? Get on as many podcasts as you possibly can. It's a numbers game. The more people see you, the more clients you'll get. It's this philosophy of just pure volume.
But here is the hard, frustrating truth. You can do dozens and dozens of interviews and see, well, barely a trickle of new business. See, the problem isn't a lack of exposure, it's a lack of a system to turn that exposure into actual paying clients. So let's talk about this first major hurdle, what we call the visibility trap. We're going to break down exactly why this strategy catches so many smart, talented people completely off guard. Okay, so why does this happen? Well, the trap is usually sprung for a few key reasons. First, you might be talking to the wrong audience, people who just aren't potential buyers. Second, maybe you're not positioned as a real authority. But the biggest failure of all, it's having no clear path, no bridge, for someone who's interested to actually become a client.
So what does it actually feel like to be stuck in this trap? Let's paint a picture here, because this is where most experts find themselves.
Imagine this. You are stranded in what we're going to call the land of the dinosaurs. It is a place of pain, of frustration, of feeling like you're just spinning your wheels. And way, way off in the distance, you can see it, your destination island, where all the success and the ideal clients are waiting. But that gap, it feels huge, almost impossible to cross.
Now, before you can even think about building a bridge across that massive gap, you have to start with a really fundamental shift in how you see yourself and your role. Okay, this next part is absolutely critical. It's not enough to be a specialist who can help. You have to make what's called an authority shift. You have to position yourself as the one trusted solution for your client's very specific pain point. It's a small change in words, but it changes absolutely everything.
So once you've made that authority shift, you're ready to start construction. It's time to build the actual system, the bridge that's going to reliably connect listeners to you as paying clients. See, the guest interview itself, that's just the starting point. Most people, they stop their efforts right there. But the real power, the true leverage that multiplies your return on investment, that happens in the back-end system you build for after the episode goes live. And that system, it's not some crazy complicated machine. It's a straightforward four-step bridge. It starts with the interview, which grabs attention. Then you direct that attention to a lead magnet. From there, a smart follow-up sequence nurtures that new relationship, which leads, finally, to the sales conversation. Simple as that. Now, you can build the most beautiful bridge in the world, but if people are too scared or confused to cross it, it's completely useless. Your next job is to make that journey for your potential client feel safe, easy, and honestly, completely irresistible. So, this is where so many people drop the ball. How do you invite them onto the bridge? The old way is offering some boring, passive PDF download that, let's face it, everyone else is offering too. The new, much more effective way is to create an engaging, interactive experience that gives them value right away. So, what does this look like? Well, instead of that generic PDF, you could offer a quiz that helps listeners diagnose their own problem. Or maybe you give away the first chapter of your book to create some curiosity. Or, even better, host a free masterclass that shows off your expertise and builds instant trust. Seriously, if you take one thing away from this section, let it be this. If you want people to cross your bridge, you can't just hand them a brochure. You've got to give them an experience that pulls them forward and gets them excited for whatever's next. Okay, so when you do this right, when you build this bridge correctly, what does arriving at that destination island actually look like? Let's talk about the real numbers here. The results can be absolutely transformative. With a system designed to attract high-value clients, a single client from just one podcast appearance can be worth $5,000 to $10,000. And now, just imagine doing that consistently. By focusing on landing just one ideal client a month, you're building a reliable revenue stream of $30,000 to $60,000 or even more in just 6 months. So let's put it all together. The goal is not being on 100 different podcasts. No way. It's a strategic approach. Focus on one authority-aligned, top-tier podcast a month and back it up with a conversion system. That is how you turn these appearances into predictable, significant revenue.
So to wrap this all up, let's get crystal clear on what actually moves the needle. It's not more interviews. It's better, more strategic interviews, combined with a conversion system. One appearance on the right podcast is worth so much more than 10 on the wrong ones. Look, your ideal clients are out there right now, stuck in their own land of the dinosaurs, and they're looking for a way to get to their destination. The path from their pain to your solution is clear. So the only question left is, what kind of bridge will you build to help them get there?